It's time to grow and scale your coaching business the impact-driven, simple and sustainable way. Welcome to Rising Coaches with Sofia Bernardi. I'm your host, Sofia, mindset and business coach, supporting ambitious new and rising coaches to master their mindset, create an aligned and profitable strategy, and grow a six-figure business and beyond using the Rising Coach method. I built $1 million business by the age of 26 in under 4 years, and I've coached hundreds across the globe to build incredible businesses that create freedom and fulfillment whilst having a whole lot of fun along the way. And in this podcast, I will teach you the mindset, strategy, and energetics to do the same. Let's dive in. Today's episode is a little bit different to usual. As you would know if you are a consistent listener of the podcast or you consume my content on a regular basis, then you would know that I love money and money loves me. I love talking about money. I love sharing money. I love giving money. I love teaching others how to make money. I love sharing my money wins, my clients' money wins, and I teach it on the podcast and in my content on a daily basis because money makes the world go round. Money supports you to create more impact, more freedom, more fulfillment. It can support you to feel better and create a higher quality life and be more generous and all of those things. Like money is just a relationship just like with any other person, and it can amplify your life or it can hinder it, right? When not used correctly. And this is coming from someone who, if you knew my story at a deeper level, you'll know that I have not always had an abundant money mindset relationship. In fact, I used to have a very scarce relationship with money due to my dad's gambling addiction and how that very deeply affected my family in more ways than I have capacity to share with you today. So just know that this is coming from someone who has had a very unhealthy, unstable relationship with money, where I really saw as money as bad and cruel and evil and creates problems and breaks people apart, to now someone that has a belief that money can really amplify the quality of your life and those around you. And I think that that's really incredible, and it's served and supported me so much, going so deep on this journey of transforming my relationship with money and therefore transforming the quality of my entire life. And so that is why I so proudly and consistently talk about money, how to generate more of it, how to hold it, how to feel safe in it, and all of the things. And yet today, I'm going to be sharing with you something very different, and that is 7 things that are actually significantly more important than how much money you make. So this is going very counter to everything that it is that I say. And that's not to take away from everything that I say. I still stand by every single word I say when it comes to teaching you how to make money and how amazing it is. And I do want to share that there are definitely a lot of factors that are significantly more important in your business than how much money you make. So let me dive into what those 7 key things are, and then I would love to hear your takeaways and your perspective from this episode in my Instagram or Facebook DMs. I'm at Sofia Rose Bernardi. Let's dive in. So number 1 is actually how you feel in your business. I don't care how much money you're making in your business. If you feel shit and unhappy and unfulfilled and like you're not making a difference, that's not worth any of the money. And this is something I'm really proud of in my business is, yes, I make a lot of money, even though a lot is relative, obviously, to each individual. But I would say for what it is I need to get by on a daily basis, I would say that I do make a lot of money. And yet, what is still more important to me is how I feel on a daily basis, on a weekly and monthly basis. And I'm not saying that your life needs to always be sunshine, rainbows, and butterflies and always perfect. That is not realistic and not what I'm saying at all. However, how I feel more often than not is more important than how much money I make. So if the way I make money costs my happiness and my fulfillment at a deep and consistent level, it's not going to be worth it to me. Meaning I prioritize how I feel more than how much I make. And I believe that everyone should, because yes, whilst I say that money can absolutely transform your life, not if you already are feeling totally shit in your life. Like money will just amplify things and improve things. It's a tool, it's a resource. It will not necessarily fix problems when it comes to how you feel. It can definitely fix some things, but can it fix how you feel internally about yourself? No, nothing external can do that. That's something you have to do. So how I feel is more important than how much money I make. Number 2 is what your profit margin is. Now, you see a lot of bro marketing out there of they make 7 figures in 5 minutes and, they make all this amazing money, but I actually don't care how much money someone makes. I actually care about, all of the 7 things I'm sharing with you today. But what I really care about is, what does your profit margin say? Because I know of specific people and examples of people that make 7 figures a year, but they also spend 7 figures a year. So what do they have left over? Little to nothing, right? And so it's one thing to make an amazing amount of money, and it's another to hold it and keep it and have a business that can truly sustain itself. And so your profit margin is everything, because that's going to show you what you actually have left over at the end of it. Now, this is quite a touchy subject and a more complicated subject because it depends on many factors. If you're just starting out in your business, I wouldn't jump to the conclusion that you have this unsustainable business and it's a problem. Of course, you are spending more than you're making because you have to invest to learn, to grow, okay, to create wealth. You don't know what you don't know, and nothing changes if nothing changes. So if you're just starting out and you've just invested $10,000 in a program and you haven't yet made $10,000, no, you're not a profitable business. But is that a problem? No, because some things take time and you need to invest to learn how to make money. You know what I mean? So in my first year in business, I invested majority of what I made and more into the business in order to grow. And I really believe that I am only here today where I've generated over 7 figures. I have these, 6-figure months and things like that because I've been willing to invest in myself, because I've been willing to take risks and not play small. Okay. So please know that your profit margin is going to depend on various factors, like where you're at in your business, how long you've been in your business, what your goals are right now, whether you're in a growth season or not. But if you consistently are in this place where you're generating a lot of money, but then you're equally spending a lot of money, so I'm talking about the consistency piece and the more often than not piece, that is a bit of a problem, I'm really proud to say that more often than not, my profit margin is sitting around that 60% plus mark, which is, very, very high. I mean, most industries are, between 1 and 10% profit margins, maybe up to 20%. But, any more than that is, a little bit abnormal. There are definitely businesses out there that have a higher profit margin than I do, and vice versa. And I'm also talking about seasons. Like I go through different, seasons and things like that. But more often than not, my profit margin is really amazing, and it's something I'm incredibly proud of. Number 3 is how much time you have. I'm dedicated to providing you with as much valuable free content as possible to help you to grow and scale your coaching business sustainably. That's why I'm constantly rolling out new resources and events for you. To ensure that this podcast stays fresh with the latest offerings, I've compiled all our current free and paid offerings in one convenient place. Simply head over to www.sofiarosebernardi.com/links or follow me on Instagram at Sofia Rose Bernardi for the latest offerings. Thank you so much for being a part of this community, and let's get back to the episode. Incredibly proud of. Number 3 is how much time you have. So again, time is money, and you may be generating 5, 6, 7 figures a year, but if your calendar is chock-a-block, that's a very Australian term, but completely full of commitments and places to be and things to do, and you just have no free time and capacity and spaciousness, then, that money very quickly doesn't seem as valuable to me. I really, love freedom, and not so much freedom of like, I just want to sip cocktails on the beach and not do anything. No, I'm a very ambitious, go-getting type of human. I actually love being in my business, on my business, supporting my clients, doing all the things, and I love being busy. But I love the ability to choose. So for example, I'm recording this on a Monday afternoon at 3 p.m. I have had one call today, and it was onboarding a new client, and there's nothing I'd rather do. That is all I've had to do. That is the only thing on my calendar today. I've got all of this spaciousness to listen to my body. Do I need a nap? Do I need to go for a walk? Do I need to go to the gym? Do I need all 3? Do I need to work on my content? Do I want to talk to my friends? Do I want to spend time with my partner? These are the things that I like to have the choice to be able to do, to really listen to my body. And don't get me wrong, there are again also seasons in my business where my calendar is very, very full because I've just had a really successful launch and like so many sales calls have been booked, or coincidentally a lot of clients are booking check-in calls and all sorts of things, right? But more often than not, I love to have spaciousness and time. And if you are consistently running on this hamster wheel from one thing to the next, I don't really care how much money you're making if you just don't have space to breathe. And I know that sounds so obvious, but you'll be surprised how many people are making 6 figures and 7 figures and multiple 7 figures per year, and they are burnt out, and they even burn their business to the ground. They burn certain programs to the ground. They start again, they reset. And I'm just so grateful. I am 4.5 years into business and I've never burnt out. Sure, I've had moments where I'm feeling a little tired or a little exhausted, or that feeling of burnout can come on, but have I ever been burnt out, considered dropping everything, starting again, refreshing? No, I have not had any of those experiences because of the way I've designed my business very intentionally. Okay. Number 4 is how many of your clients get results. So I don't care how much money you make. I care about how your clients feel. Are they getting the result that they came for, or are they getting the tools to generate the results? Because obviously it's not like someone just joins a program and then boom, their life has changed forever. Like whilst that can happen pretty quickly for some more than others, typically things take time to integrate and implement and do and show up for, and that's not necessarily the coach's fault, but are your clients walking away feeling supported, feeling fulfilled, feeling like they're on the pathway to generating the results, or have gotten the results in the time of working with you? That is so, so important. So that is something that I care about more than money, is actually how many of your clients are succeeding. And not from a place of being overly attached there, because again, there's a lot there that's out of your control, but with the things that are in your control and focusing on, your ideal clients, and the more often than not aspect is really, really key. Number 5 is your integrity in the process. So there are plenty of people that make a lot of money and it may seem easeful and whatever else, but if they're doing it in ways that actually don't feel aligned for them, so they don't, they're against cold calling, or they feel icky about it, but they're doing it anyways, or cold DMing, or they're saying one thing on the front end to lure people in and grab people, but actually they're doing another on the back end. Like if it costs you your integrity, I do not care how much money you make. If the way that you sign, a client is through burning through heaps of people and like not paying attention or just doing anything for the sale or the dollar, no, I would never want your business model, or, the amount of money just doesn't matter there if that's the trade-off and the cost. Number 6 is how regulated your nervous system is. So again, if you've created a business that constantly leaves you feeling anxious and overwhelmed and stressed and burnt out and chaotic and, dysregulated because of the way, or the lack of your systems being set up, or taking on board unaligned clients and so forth, and you are constantly having to put out fires and deal with so much stress on a regular basis, that it doesn't matter how much money you make. That's not going to be worth it long term if that starts to cost you your own health and sanity. And then number 7 is how sustainable your business model is. So I know of so many people who have made a lot of money, that have risen to the top quickly, but then just as quickly come crashing down because what they created was not sustainable. They didn't have the right tools or systems or support in order to sustain that success, or make sure that everything was set up in a really sustainable way for you to be able to consistently hold it. So this is just my thought leadership on 7 things that are so much more important in my personal opinion than how much money you make. So let me recap. How you feel in your business, what your profit margin is, how much time you have, how many of your clients get results, your integrity in the process, how regulated your nervous system is, and how sustainable your business model is. To me, these 7 things are so much more important than how much money you make. Making money is good. Having money is great, and all of those things. But if it costs you one or more of these things on a long-term basis, not worth it. Something needs to change. So make sure that you're considering these 7 things, if it aligns with you, of course, when it comes to setting up your offers, setting up your marketing strategy, and all of those sorts of things, so that you can have a simple, sustainable, and scalable coaching or service-based business. Hope you've enjoyed this episode. Come chat to me in the DMs about your favorite takeaway. And if you would like my support to create a simple, sustainable, and scalable coaching business, you're like, okay, I see that these 7 things are so important. to actually create more money long term. Sofia, how do I do that? Then come book a complimentary strategy call with me and I'll take a deep dive into your business, give you some practical steps that you can truly action. And if you'd like my support further from there, we can chat about that as well. All you have to do is click the link in the show notes or head to www.sofiarosebernardi.com/chat, and I cannot wait to speak with you. If you thoroughly enjoyed this episode, I'd greatly appreciate it if you could take a moment to hit that subscribe button. Your support fuels our mission to bring you even more valuable content every week. It truly means the world to me. My promise to you is that if you go ahead and hit that subscribe button, I'll continue making incredible episodes such as this every week to help you to grow and scale your coaching business. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next episode.